Hey everyone, I'm Ko. I'm 39 and I'm starting a YouTube channel. I remember like it was yesterday. I was the first business hire at my last company. I was tasked to build and execute a go-to-market strategy and recruit a rockstar team in a challenging, competitive crypto market. For 18 months, my life revolved around the business in a distinct rhythm. I woke up at 7:30 a.m. I hand grinded my morning coffee before starting my daily ritual of meetings and calls. I was responsible for a global team and community across Asia, Europe, and America. Crypto operates 24/7, so I was always on, checking email and Telegram messages all day, every day. When the team was on a mission together, it reinforced a sense of purpose. All the hard work and endless hours were worth it when we were winning. It was addictive. Then 3 days before I turned 39, I got the meeting invite from my direct manager and HR, and everything changed overnight. When I originally took the job, it wasn't meant to be forever. I was truly grateful for the opportunity, and I worked hard to be worthy of it every day. But during that time, I didn't have the energy or space for my own well-being. I was constantly on the road. The stress and exhaustion started to take its toll on me. Once, during an international trip, I actually went to the emergency room to get my tonsils punctured, but I'll save that story for another day. So when the news came, I felt a mix of shock and relief. When people ask me, what's next? For the first time in my life, I had no idea. Am I in my second midlife crisis? Startups are hard, and I have a love-hate relationships with launching and growing new startups. I thrived in the energy and speed of getting a new venture off the ground, but it can be exhausting. And if you're not careful, it is easy to get burned out. So I decided to take the rest of 2023 to recover. What did I end up doing in those 6 months? A little bit of everything. I took a few copywriting and art courses. I dusted off my tennis rackets. I revisited my investments portfolio. I read a lot of trashy romance webcomics. I played some games like God of War Ragnarok, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and Baldur's Gate. While I'm in much better physical health, building a fulfilling post-layoff life was harder than I anticipated. I sought solitude at home to decompress and process my emotions, and it was uncomfortable. I resisted making any big decisions, especially anything to do with time and money. I can do anything I want for the rest of my life, but I was filled with doubt and guilt around whether I deserve this. And I realized, you know what? All of these feelings are completely normal and part of the paradox of success. Getting laid off made me lose 3 things: structure, purpose, identity, all at the same time. Being a startup operator provides a strong sense of identity. When casually asked in a social setting, what do you do? It was easy to answer. I work at company X, or I lead growth and marketing at company Y. I had many points of social contact and networks operating within the organization, external partners, and the industry. After exiting the company, hearing, what do you do, made me uncomfortable and a little anxious. A lot of my life was built around the company. It took only one video call for my known structure, meaning, and identity to evaporate. And the emotional aftermath was dark and confusing. The hole was really big, and I struggled to fill the void. I spent this time coming to terms with my feelings and separating myself from what used to be. I wanted to say no to everything, but it was hard to turn it off. I ended up saying yes to too many things just to fill the void, and that didn't end quite well for me. So I finally disconnected. Now we fast forward 8 months. I'm finally in a place where the fear of missing out transformed into the joy of missing out. I have the headspace to think about what my life might look like going forward. So begins my reinvention phase, and it feels strange staring into a blank page. What possibilities are out there? What opportunities will I explore? I realize that these transformations do not happen overnight. They happen over a series of pragmatic and safe experiences, and reflections over several years. Up until this point, I lived an ambitious life with a plan and an outcome in mind. I studied hard in high school to get into a good university. At university, I took classes to get the best grades. By getting the best grades, I can get a respectable, good-paying job, which can help me land my first gig in Silicon Valley. When I achieved those coveted leadership roles and the millionaire status, I thought, finally, I made it, and I can achieve lasting happiness. And boy, I was dead wrong. Nothing changed. I still felt empty inside. And that moment was incredibly painful. If I truly cared about living in a different way, I may need to leave what I know behind. So how do I define success this time around? I want to understand what my ideal self looks like. I hope to experience joy as a byproduct of my journey rather than as a result of a specific outcome. I have two primary goals in 2024. First, I want to design a life that works for me. It's really easy to default back to what's familiar and float mindlessly towards what society defines as success. I want the journey to feel the way I want my destination to feel. That's why I'm spending this year reconnecting with my sense of wonder and curiosity by prototyping new ways of living life. I want to shift my mindset from what I lack to what I have to offer. I want my life to be constantly creative, productive, changing, evolving, with a touch of serendipity and surprise sprinkled in. By experimenting with different ways of showing up in the world and making small, deliberate changes, I hope to uncover unexpected opportunities, possibilities, and connections that might tell me what comes next. I want to find something worth doing indefinitely, something I can do consistently. Then I can work backwards to build a life around being able to keep doing these things. Don't get me wrong. Money is important. I love making money, and I wouldn't have survived nor gave myself the countless opportunities to take my shot without the money and the knowledge I've gained with working with that money. But using it as a filter for finding projects worth doing, especially at first, is a mistake. At this point in my life, the projects worth doing are more powerful and exciting than any type of security, comfort, stability, or respect a job with a stable paycheck might offer. Fighting for the opportunity to spend my time and energy on what matters is critical, whether or not I make money from it in the short term. Second, I want to tell stories that help and inspire people. Growing up in an immigrant household, I started from a net worth of zero, or probably negative. After nearly 20 years as an operator and entrepreneur in startups and big tech, I am lucky to be in a secure financial position where I can do anything I want. Getting to this point was not a straight line. I made a lot of mistakes, and it's really just a giant squiggly line with a ton of detours. I believe stories have the power to connect, inspire, and prove that it's never too late to rewrite the script. And there are many ways to tell a story: pictures, written, and spoken word. So here I am. I'm almost 40 and starting a YouTube channel. I want to share the business and personal finance lessons I've learned with creators, business owners, and storytellers that I admire so that they can share and give to their communities for much longer. Sharing my journey to reinvent myself once again, one video at a time. 2024 will be an exciting year for me. I'm paying attention to how I'm spending my energy and what makes me feel great or not so great. I will be iterating and sharing my learnings as I go. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I would love to hear the challenges you are facing and see how I can help.